Like, that's our job. Our job is literally how much can you get out of the fucking way? Like, I think about it like we are literally children in a kitchen. Universe is like our mother cooking, and it's like you're having this problem of like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And your mom is like, I'm literally cooking something, and it would get to you faster if you would get out of the fucking kitchen and let me cook it for you. It'd be so much faster. But instead, we're like in the kitchen and we're like, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Making the process so much longer. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Glow Again podcast, the podcast where we remember that we are vibrational beings and we live a vibrational lifestyle. And I help you learn how to leverage your energy to live the best life possible and manifest cool shit by default, but have a good life first and foremost. Yeah, that's what we're here for. And I'm happy you're here. So let's go back about a week ago. I had a moment where I had an offer come through that was an amount of money that I've never had before in one sitting. And at first, I was like, fuck yeah, so exciting. About 10 seconds later, I was like, oh God, I don't know that I can handle this, because this offer was placed in front of me, but it hadn't fully gone through yet. And I had all of these, oh God, I had so many thoughts flood through of, one, can you handle this? And two, this probably isn't going to actually go through. This probably isn't going to work out. And also, if it doesn't, you're never going to be happy again. Like, I legit caught myself having that thought. And I was like, wow. And in that moment, I was like, whoa. Okay, nervous system, like, calm down. And what happened was I got to this point where I was so annoyed and frustrated with the feeling of that resistance. I feel like I'm somebody who strives for joy. Like, to me, that is my ultimate goal, is like joy. And yes, all emotions are amazing and I don't overlook those, but like I'm always seeking joy, okay? And I get really annoyed when I'm not in that space. And so I was in this space where I was sitting there for a few days like this, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot live life like this. Like, I'm in the world of business, and if this is how business feels, I don't want it. Like, I would rather feel my connection to source. I would rather feel joy in my heart than have this deal go through. Like, I legit got to this space. And I really, rather than just saying that out loud, I really felt it in my body. I felt this like full neutrality around it, because I sat there and I remembered how good it feels to just feel good and that have nothing to do with my external circumstances. And I got to that point where I felt so neutral. And I was like, okay, if it doesn't go through, oh well. Like, there's more opportunities. Life will go on. I will be happy again. And a couple days roll around, and I wasn't on my phone for a few hours, and I just picked it up, and I had an email that was like basically saying that the deal was going to go through and that it was proceeding. And I noticed I had the most like neutral response to that. Like, yeah, I was like, oh, cool. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's cool. But I legit, oh my God, I just used the word legit. I feel like I do that a lot, actually. Anyways, it felt normal in my body. It felt very like, okay, I'm happy this is going through, but happy wasn't even it was like, I felt just neutral. I felt neutral, and it normalized in my body. And I was really, I almost said legit again. I was really okay without it. And so it wasn't even a surprise that the fact that I got to that point, that when you let go of your attachment to something, that you then create space for it to come in, that you then raise your frequency to be resonant with that. I didn't have any resistance. I didn't have any blocks. But the more important part is not that by default that happens, it's that you actually feel joy because, and it's so hard to like say this without it sounding like such a cliche because everybody's like, yeah, I want joy, but also like I want the money. And I get that. But then I feel like I've really gotten to this point where I can wrap my mind around that the things that I'm wanting are because they're going to give me joy. And of course, this goes a level above survival. Like there are things that we need money to, have a roof over our heads and water and food. Sure. But the other stuff, I feel like it's because we're seeking the joy of it, right? So if you can get yourself to a space of joy around not even having and just the joy of joy, you like surpass the whole cycle. That wasn't even the point that I was going to make, but that was a good point, I guess. So we'll keep that in. The point that I was going to make, the whole reason I brought this story up is because I've had this thought plenty of times and it just comes back again and again and again. And it's this, that the lesson is always the same. I was thinking about how a lot of people talk about lessons and that, up levels, they require these big lessons and that it's like, okay, I went through this relationship because it was to teach me this, this, and this. And I lost this thing because it's supposed to teach me this, this, and this. And while there is beauty in finding the like individual things, right? And I think that then helps us train our human body on how to navigate those situations in the next time, to have those like really specific lessons, right? But the main lesson that is always happening is always the same. And this is my perspective, okay? I'm not saying this is truth. This is what I've experienced. This is how I see it. So feel free to take this or decline it. That's fine. Either way. And so the lesson that is always underlying these situations for me is to let go, to see how much I can let go and get out of the way. Because here's the thing, this is more than a cliche. I know you're like thinking, yeah, let go, let God, whatever. We've heard this before. But there's something to this. This is every lesson for me, every single lesson for me. The universe is always conspiring for syntropy. The universe wants us to thrive. Think about it as a rubber band, right? The rubber band pulling being the resistance. And when you let go, it wants to get back to its natural form. It wants to get back to its natural form, okay? Same with the universe. It wants to be thriving. So it's always conspiring in thriving. Think about in 2020 when everybody was inside and all of a sudden we saw all of nature like healing itself, okay? It has this goal of syntropy naturally, okay? And so the same goes for us, that when we are in these states of resistance and having blocks and having these kinks in our channel, that is the interference of this conspiring of syntropy, okay? When we let go, infinite intelligence is able to come through. This might be a little woo-woo for some. I don't really care. There's other ways to look at this too. When you let go, if you're even just a psych person, when you let go, your nervous system is able to regulate, your heart and your brain start to be coherent again, and you start turning on the parts of your brain that can sense solutions, and see bigger pictures and solve problems, okay? So if thinking about the energetic universe, infinite intelligence feels a little too far off for you, think about it in this way, that there is so much good in letting go, okay? But going back to my point, that when we let go of that resistance, the interference, infinite intelligence is able to work syntropy through us and is going to create situations and opportunities and answers and place it right in front of us for us to then let that unfold. When you let go, what you're doing is also raising your frequency, right? and you become resonant with more information, the answers. You become resonant with the answers. You become resonant with ideas, with opportunities, with literally just space, with like more space from the problem. It doesn't feel like a problem anymore. You're seeing a broader perspective. You're not so zoomed in. You're literally resonating with more light. Okay? And while that is one point that I want to make of you're going to start resonating with the answers, you also get to this point before that all happens where right before all those answers come in, you kind of don't even need the answers anymore. You're like, I'm okay. My nervous system is okay. And God, I guess that's all I've ever been looking for. I guess this feeling of joy, like when I truly feel a regulated nervous system, I am seeking nothing. I'm seeking nothing. And from that space, you really get to enjoy life again. You really get to just be present. And everything else happens. It happens. You're letting go. It sounds scary. It sounds like, oh my God, I'm not gonna, like I'm scared to just be okay with everything. There's probably a part of you that's like, I'm scared to just be okay with everything. But everything happens by default after that anyways. So if you're not ready to fully embrace that without the things coming in, that's okay. I don't even know if I'm fully there, but that's okay. Keep that in the back of your mind. It's going to manifest by default. But there is a part, this is the biggest part, is that you won't even need it. You won't even need it. You're going to feel so good. You're going to feel so free from the things that you're like, this is what I was searching for. This is it. And so for me, letting go is a lot of times coming back to this information, is remembering that I can trust this process now. Because I know that I'm an energetic being, I am in the same vibrational world as this universe that is always seeking syntropy, that I can trust this process, that I know that only good will come from letting go. That's something that allows me to let go a lot of times, is just the information, right? And other times it's doing the things that we know is going to just move us in the direction of raising our frequency. I hate using like cliches, but like literally, oh my God, I'm going to stop saying legit. Do the things that raise your frequency. Okay? Do the things that feel good. And sometimes that can literally be watching Impractical Jokers. That's been mine lately. Like sometimes it's meditation, sometimes it's watching Impractical Jokers. Okay? It looks different every day. But do the things that allow you to start moving the momentum. Okay? The momentum is such a key part of this, because when you get momentum going, when you just start focusing the direction that you want your wheel to start turning, then if you don't turn the other way, you're going to keep going. And the beautiful part about momentum is that we only have to do that first part. When momentum gets going, it kind of just takes you in. All of a sudden, your dominant thought is a good one. All of a sudden, things feel good. All of a sudden, you have your answers, right? The momentum gets going. So in letting go, that can sometimes feel like a huge thing. That can sometimes feel like, oh, I love the idea, but like, shut the fuck up. I can't do that. Right? I get it. All you got to do is get the turn, get the momentum going, start it. Okay. And then the universe is going to take over. The universe is going to let that wheel keep going and going. Like imagine pushing a wheel down a hill. You just have to push it. And then once it starts, especially if you let it go for just a little bit, it's going to be really hard to stop it. Okay. And something that also allows me to drop into this more, because there can be a lot of resistance to this idea of letting go, of course, right? That's like the whole idea of this. Something that has helped me is one, repetition, because the more I let go, the more I'm seeing how consistent this law is, as in every time I truly let go, I'm like, oh my God, the lesson is always the same. And I always see how this was exactly what I needed to do. This repetition builds that muscle within you of like, how quick you can then let go. Because now I'd say I have such a trust within myself and an understanding of this that I can pretty quickly let go. I can pretty quickly find this neutral space in my body and allow the unfolding to happen. And I think this comes from finding a sense of safety in feeling the feeling of safety. Now, listen, hold on. I know that sounded crazy. There's a lot of times where when we feel resistance, when we feel the tense feelings, part of our brain is saying, this is exactly what you need to be doing. This is exactly what you need to be doing, because when you feel unsafe, that means you're going to start taking the action steps that are going to get you to where you want to go. But that is a very old framework, okay? And that is important if you are getting chased by a lion. Sure, I'll give you that one. But if we are looking at this in vibrational terms, then I know that holding on to resistance is just holding my focus a direction that I don't want to be in. But I know that if I turn this way towards letting go, that the momentum will take over and it will begin to unfold that way. Because where my focus is where I'm sending my energy. And where I send my energy is where I'm building my world. Okay? So when you have these moments where you are feeling tense and you are feeling that heart closed feeling and unsafe, that if you can say to yourself, it is safe to feel the feeling of safety. It is safe to feel the feeling of safety. That is going to be the switch in your brain of, oh yeah, the productive thing is to let go. Like, that is such an old paradigm we were working with. And now I know my vibrational nature works with focus. My vibrational nature works with focus. And so I can stay here. It's safe to stay here. It's safe to feel the feeling of safety. And it might be subtle. It might be instant. Sometimes it's so instant. Sometimes I have this remembrance and I'm like, oh, and then just instantly goes. But it might be subtle sometimes, and just let that just be your turning. Let that be the beginning of momentum. Okay? And then just milk it. Milk it. You don't even have to focus on the problem to milk something. If you can get yourself to turn in a slightly different angle, then you're good. Just let it, milk it. Keep milking it. So this could be an episode where I explain to you even more like, practical ways of letting go and, meditation and yoga or whatever. But you know yourself. You know what it is that helps turn that dial for you, and lean into that. Milk it. Trust yourself. Trust that you are being supported the entire time. That even if you only feel a slight shift, to just know, okay, this is not everything. This is not everything yet. I am being supported right now. Whether you connect with the idea of having guides, or just that I'm connected to how this universe works and how it's always conspiring for syntropy. I'm connected to this. That if I let go, if I let the blocks go, if I get the interference out of the way, that naturally I am buoyant. Naturally I am supposed to thrive. That this will begin to happen for me. That it's law. That it will unfold in this way. I'm not the anomaly. No one is the anomaly. It's going to work. It's if you can focus yourself towards a direction and milk it, it is law that momentum will begin to ensue, and things that are resonant with the feelings in your body, they're going to manifest into your life. It's law. It's amazing. And I just have this epiphany every single time, and I'll probably have it again tomorrow. Like, there's probably going to be a moment where I'm like, oh God, I need to get this done. I need to that's one of my big things is I always freak out about productivity. I always freak out about time. Okay. And something I've always that I've noticed that happens a lot is when I get to this point where I'm like, oh, okay, let go. let go, find that neutral space in your body, trust in the unfolding of this all, then every single time it's like not the same situation anymore. Even though I have these things I still have to do, I have so much space around it that I'm not like, my face isn't right at the problem. I'm like seeing it from like 10 feet away, and there's also flowers here, and there's also love and family. Like I see all of it at the same time now. And all of a sudden it's not the same situation. It doesn't have the same hold on me. And all of a sudden I have all these ideas, right? I have all this like these ideas that speed up my time, and I get it done in like 20 minutes, whatever the thing is. And or somebody comes in and they're like, "Hey, let me get this done for you." Like I love to do this thing. I don't know, the situation completely shifts every time. And it's never a problem. It's like never a problem when I get into this frequency. If I can get myself to let go and become separate from the problem and remember my true nature, if I can get myself to that space, it's never a problem anymore. It never feels like a problem because I have that feeling of okayness in my body. Like I'm literally like, okay, this is okay no matter how this goes. I have joy, I have connection to my source, and that's all I want. And yeah. I love this lesson. I love it because it's just like, oh my God, we don't have to do that much. We just have to let go. Like that's our job. Our job is literally how much can you get out of the fucking way? Like I think about it, like we are literally children in a kitchen. Universe is like our mother cooking, and it's like you're having this problem of like, I'm hungry. And your mom is like, I'm literally cooking something, and it would get to you faster if you would get out of the fucking kitchen and let me cook it for you. It'd be so much faster. But instead, we're like in the kitchen and we're like, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Making the process so much longer. And that's just so silly of us. And it's okay. Give yourself grace in all of this. Let this be an ongoing lesson. Let this be a practice. Let this be a building of a muscle. It's okay when you don't let go. It's okay if you don't let go. Sometimes it's fun to be messy, fun to be human. Who cares? This is all just to make our lives a little bit better. You don't have to be enlightened. We don't have to be enlightened while we're here. And that is my message. I love you guys. I don't know who listens to me, actually. I just got my Spotify Wrapped for this podcast, and I saw that people are in like Sweden and I think you said Argentina. I forget. There's like some random spots. So, hey guys, it's so crazy. You listen to me. Okay, love you. Bye.